Okay, so welcome to the inaugural evening here, FirstGlance Films web series playoff. This is fun, right? I mean, it's free admission, free to enter, and we get cool prizes just for sitting in the audience. So that was unexpected. I wasn't expecting that. My name is Leah, and Bill asked me to come down and host this. I have a few projects of my own online. One is this vlog I do. It's called On the Road with Leah. I've done 57 episodes now in 9 different states and 16 cities, something like that over the past year. I just kind of hit the road and decided to film the whole thing. So check that out. But we're not here to talk about me, we're here to talk about you guys. So if you could go down the line and just introduce yourself and which project you're from, because I've never met any of you and I have no idea which project you're the creator of.
My name is Darren Ilaki, and I'm the creator and writer of Consequences.
Awesome.
My name is Jeff Ketchum. I'm the director and producer, kind of co-creator with a bunch of people of the Epic Con.
My name is Steve Silverman. I'm the creator of Pretty.
My name is Eric Wan. I'm the director and producer of the division.
My name is Kevin Huey. I'm the associate producer of Resurrection of Sirius Rogers.
Derek, Jeff, Steve, Eric, you.
Kevin.
Derek, Jeff, Steve, Eric, Kevin. Wow. Okay, Darren. We should all have name tags on. So since you have it on the end, why don't we just kind of go down? I mean, is everyone in the room an actor, creator themselves as well? Or are we pretty much talking to our peers and our colleagues? How many of you were at the IWTV Awards in Vegas this past week, right?
Streamed
it. Or streamed it or watched some of it online, which I think is just kind of an amazing tribute to what is happening with our community, with more events like this popping up, and that award show was just a fabulous. It was done so well. Just fabulous recognition of those of us that are out there. And what was interesting for me was I was sitting in the audience, and half of the people there being recognized I know very, very well, and the other half I'd never heard of. And I don't know if this is happening for you guys, but it's like, wow, I feel like I'm so connected to this web community, but yet there's so many of us out there doing that. So I guess my question is what is it that got you doing this in the first place? How did you end up in this web community?
Well, I mean, to me, it was just kind of like something the creator, it was just like an idea that he had, and I just kind of went with it. And of course, I've actually co-produced some other web projects after this. This is actually the first web project I ever was involved in at all. And sort of now I'm just kind of continuing with that.
So now you found that you like this genre.
Yeah,
you like
I do. It's definitely different from typically just doing shorts or feature. It's almost like pretty close to kind of like doing your own like TV show essentially.
I wanted to. I was working on my feature and wanted to. Couldn't get the fund, so I just decided. What if I just make a series of short films with a single continuous storyline, and then divide it to 10 episodes, and then at the end, you know, I have a feature film. If I combine them together, and then okay, I'm gonna call this web series, right? And then I found out there's like this whole community of web series. And then I found out this, you know, this other web series like season 3, season 2. Oh my God, these people are like already doing what I'm doing right now. What I thought I was like pioneering. You know? So,
right? Like exactly what I'm feeling
yeah,
like.
It's just basically how I got involved in this whole web series thing, and then it's great. Yeah, it's fun, and you know, it's great to see other web series creators here. Yeah, it's great.
I was drunk. My very good friend and the star of our show made quite a few videos of her own, and she was sort of making her own web series, I think, without even realizing it at the time. And I remember when she first started cutting these videos together, I was like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? What's the point? And then I saw what the point was. And for me, it's total freedom, and it's not answering to anybody. And as I say, it's like if you fly, you fly, and if you fail, you have no one to blame but yourself, because there's nobody. You're not taking notes from anybody except yourself, and you know, your co-producers and the other people on your team if you're willing to take their notes. But I think that's what got me into it, and that's what really got me going. It's just the freedom of it.
You took my answer on the drunk part. By the way. No, like my background before the web was, well, still is also film mainly, and at the same time, like I wanted to get my own thing going, my own directing, producing side going, but no one's going to give you an opportunity to go just shoot a feature film and here's a bunch of money to go do it. So I'm lucky enough to be blessed with a group of talented actors, writers, my producing partner Farba. We have been doing this now for a few years. We started with a web series called Infamous, and we did the GameRev.com, and now this actually all came to be because of the IAW TV. A few of the ladies who are a part of that also run Celebrate the Web, which is like a week-long
I actually
competition.
saw that, it was great.
And so that episode you saw was actually made in 7 days of just writing, shooting, editing, producing, all and turn it around that quick. So I just love the medium overall. You can kind of be your own boss and do what you want to do. So that's a nice break from listening to the studio.
Nice. I wrote and shot a pilot a couple years ago that went absolutely nowhere. And so I wanted to do something great with a bunch of my friends, and so I created the series. I do improv, and I get up on stage week after week for free. So like if I have to do this and try to get 20 people to see me, why don't I create something where hopefully more than 20 people will see me, and then I got to use all my improv friends. So.
So I think what I'm hearing, I think, is 3 things. The freedom to just take whatever's in your head and make it happen. The turnaround, how quickly we can get this to happen. And the budget, which typically, of course, is a lot smaller than your feature film, your television pilot. But let's talk about that because, I mean, yes, we're blessed to live in Los Angeles surrounded by producers, directors, writers, editors, actor friends that we can pull together, but there's still locations and wardrobe and post, and so it's not always, you know, it's not like you can do it for nothing. So let's talk about creative ways that you guys have had to use to make the budget happen for these projects.
Well, we did a Kickstarter campaign, so, and we actually raised $3,000. And we shot 10-minute episodes, so we pretty much shot a movie for about $3,000. But I'm really lucky because once again, the improv community that I'm surrounded with, it's not just improvisers, it's actors, directors, talent. And you know, just being in this community long enough, you meet people who we were able to secure locations for free, and the talent, you know, so I just lucky, I guess.
Pretty much pulled every favor I can for that last one. The location.
You're all out now.
Oh, I hope not. The last one though, that episode, the gentleman who fell down the hill, that was actually his house. We used that, and that was our location everywhere we shot. Cameras, things like that. We always seem to luck out and get that lent to us for free. And then actor-wise, we have an amazing group, many of which who are here, but who want to come out and actually hone their craft as well as help me out. Ultimately, obviously, we'd all love to be paid a lot more and pay everybody what we could, but we've worked in studio web and what this last thing was. So this was a Kickstarter campaign funded for that competition. We maybe raised like $300, $400 and then turned it around and fed the crew. That's where our money went. So you just kind of have to get in with a good group of people who want to be there for the work more than necessarily the paycheck, and then it all works out.
We're in our 3rd season.
Yeah.
So we, in our 1st season, my boyfriend and I paid for the whole season ourselves. The 2nd season, we did a Kickstarter campaign. Kickstarter like should get like us like a commercial.
Right here.
And we raised about 60% of our budget through Kickstarter and a couple of private donations. We're in our 3rd season, and one of our executive producers kicked in quite a bit, and then we raised the rest online, and it's just been pretty amazing. Our fans actually paid for this whole season. We use, it's just from my background, I worked at General Hospital Days of Our Lives, so I know a lot of soap actors. And I know a lot of out-of-work soap actors who want to do fun things and work.
We had a couple cameos.
So we put the cameos in, and then people, you know, there's an audience out there who wants to see them, and then suddenly, you know, my advice to everybody here is if you do have a website, do what we did, which is we put a little PayPal link up on our website, and we get people randomly giving us money all the time. Not huge amounts of money, but it's still nice when you
Got a
get
steady flow.
a nice flow. We got like $50 right before Christmas. Like 3 weeks in a row, I was like, oh, this is nice, I can go somewhere. No, I'm but it's kind of cool because we've created this fan base and they want more, and I wasn't planning even to do a second season or a third season, and then they wanted more, so we wrote the second season, and then they wanted more, so we wrote the third season. We'll see if they want more after that.
How many episodes in each season?
We did 5 episodes the first season, and then 7, and we have 7 this season.
And it was really because of the demand. That's what kept you going.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. So that's what it comes to.
Mine is funded by my couple of credit cards. Like everyone, you know, I started Kickstarter campaign, but you know, didn't get me anywhere. You know, I didn't reach the goal, so I didn't get the money. So.
That's where you have to be fair. We actually did Indiegogo.
Indiegogo. Sorry.
Yep, Indiegogo,
Yeah, so,
not Kickstarter.
So then I, you know, I
There goes
create a
our
website,
commercial.
and then you know, like yours, I have a donate, you know, on my whatisthevision.com website. So taking donations, but you know, mostly from my credit cards and paycheck, on my full-time job. So.
Actually, our 2 producers, they kind of self-funded it themselves. We shot it, essentially shot like a feature. We had like very minimal crew. Essentially, it was just like bare bones, like DP, director, myself, a production designer, and art director, and that's all we had to make it happen. So yeah, that's how we kind of kept it. That location that we were shooting in was actually one of our producer's house, and then a lot of the exterior stuff we actually just stole them. Just went out, just shot it.
Not that we're advocating.
Borrowing, yeah.